On a quiet Thursday afternoon, I was absorbed in work, tightening bolts with my wrench, when my phone buzzed in my pocket. The message was from my fiancée, Emily. We'd been together for over 3 years and engaged for the last 8 months. Since her cousin's high school graduation party was scheduled for the weekend, I figured she was texting about travel plans or family logistics. But the words on the screen hit me like a punch to the chest. Jake, I need to confess something before you hear it from someone else. At Lisa's party last night, I kissed my ex, Ryan. It was a stupid alcohol-fueled mistake that meant nothing. Please, let's just keep this between us, so it doesn't cause any drama. I froze, staring at the message, my grip tightening around the phone. Emily had gone to Lisa's graduation celebration with a group of friends, or at least that's what she told me. Apparently, Ryan, her ex-boyfriend of 2 years before she met me, had been there too. She'd always brush him off as a forgotten part of her past, yet somehow he kept showing up at family functions. What stung most wasn't just a kiss. It was a request for secrecy, as though I was expected to help bury her betrayal. My reply was short, noted. Her response came instantly. Thank you for being so understanding. I knew you'd handle this maturely. It was really nothing. Without hesitation, I snapped a screenshot of her confession and opened the family group chat, a chat Emily herself had added me to 7 months ago to coordinate wedding plans. It included her parents, Michael and Susan, her older sister, Claire, her brother, Ethan, 3 cousins, including Lisa, who hosted the party, and her grandmother, Evelyn, a sharp 79-year-old who had mastered texting. I typed a brief message. Emily wanted to share something from Lisa's party. Then I attached a screenshot and hit send. The reactions came quickly. Susan was the first to reply. Emily, what is this? You kissed Ryan at Lisa's party? Michael followed. Emily Jane Carter. Explain this right now. Claire chimed in. Are you serious? You're engaged to Jake and you kissed Ryan? Lisa added. I saw you two talking, but I had no idea it went that far. Emily, this is awful. Then Ethan. Ryan was bragging to everyone before he left, saying you still have feelings for him. Even Evelyn joined in. Emily, this behavior is not acceptable for someone about to be married. I am very disappointed. More messages poured in. Rumors spread that Ryan had told people at the party Emily had initiated the kiss and suggested they might meet up again later. She had left the party early, which now seemed like an attempt to dodge fallout. My phone lit up with a call from Emily. Her voice trembled with anger. Jake, why would you do this? I shared your message with the family, like you wanted. I said evenly, I never asked you to do that. I said to keep it private, she shouted. You said it was nothing and shouldn't be shared. If it was really nothing, then there was no reason to hide it. That's not the same, she snapped. Yes, it is. I replied calmly. You kissed your ex at a family gathering and asked me to cover it up. If it was meaningless, why the secrecy? It was a mistake, Jake. I was drunk. Being drunk doesn't make you kiss someone. It only strips away your excuses. She hung up. Meanwhile, the family chat kept blowing up. Claire, Emily, where are you? Mom wants to talk to you now. Michael, this is unacceptable. We need to have a family discussion. Finally, Emily entered the chat. Everyone, calm down. This is getting blown out of proportion. Susan shot back. Out of proportion? You kissed your ex while engaged to Jake. It was just a kiss, Emily insisted. Just a kiss? Claire retorted. With Ryan of all people, while wearing Jake's ring. Ethan added, Ryan was telling everyone you told him you missed him. That's a lie. Emily fired back. Then her cousin Nathan dropped a bombshell. Ryan posted on Instagram about reigniting old sparks. I've got the screenshot if anyone wants it. Nathan then shared Ryan's story. A photo from the party captioned, Some connections never fade. Nice to know the spark is still there. Michael's fury spilled into the chat. Emily, what is this? Ryan thinks you two are getting back together. He's lying, Emily argued. It was one meaningless kiss. Susan pressed her further. If it was meaningless, why didn't you tell us yourself? Because she knew it was wrong. Claire interjected. Evelyn added sternly, keeping something like this a secret is deceitful. In my time, Engaged women did not behave this way. Grandma, everyone makes mistakes, Emily pleaded. Evelyn remained firm. Mistakes like this show you're not ready for marriage. The chat was in chaos. Emily's parents, who were traditional and covering most of our wedding costs, were furious. Susan finally wrote, Emily, your father, and I need to reconsider whether you're truly committed to this marriage. Then she turned to me. Jake, we're deeply sorry for our daughter's behavior. This is a disgrace to our family. I finally typed into the group chat, Thank you, Mr. Carter. I appreciate everyone's honesty. Almost immediately, my phone rang again. Emily's voice was frantic. Jake, you have to fix this. Tell them it was all a misunderstanding. What misunderstanding? I asked flatly. You kissed Ryan and then asked me to keep it quiet. You're tearing my family apart, she cried. No, I corrected, calm but firm. You damage those relationships when you kiss your ex at a family gathering. They're already talking about canceling the wedding, she said in a broken voice. Maybe that's the best. Jake, it was just one mistake. It wasn't just one, I said evenly. You kissed Ryan, you asked me to lie, and now you're more worried about the fallout than betrayal itself. She hung up again. The following evening, Friday, my phone buzzed with a call from Michael. Jake, can you come by tonight? Susan and I want to talk this through properly. I drove to their house and arrived around 7:30. The entire family was gathered. Everyone except Emily, who was staying at her friend Rachel's place. Susan looked exhausted, her face lined with disappointment. Jake, we're horrified by Emily's actions, she said quietly. Michael was blunt. We raised her to know better. Kissing another man while engaged is indefensible. Claire spoke up next. She's been acting off about Ryan for months. She tenses up any time his name comes up. Ethan added something that floored me. She wanted to invite Ryan to your wedding. She told us you'd approved it. I blinked. I never agreed to that. Susan shook her head. She never mentioned it to us either. Michael's jaw tightened. So she planned to sneak her ex into your wedding without telling you? For the next hour, the family discussed Emily's choices, her maturity, and whether she was ready for marriage at all. They had invested so much into the wedding, and her behavior felt like a betrayal to them as well. Susan turned to me. Jake, we'll support whatever decision you make about this engagement. You're a good man and you deserve better. Michael added. If Emily can't honor her engagement, how could she possibly honor a marriage? From the corner, Evelyn, who had been silent until then, murmured, I agree. I left their house with a heavy heart, the weight of choice pressing down on me. Saturday morning, I was sipping coffee when someone banged on my door. It was Emily. Her eyes were red, her expression desperate. Jake, we need to talk, she pleaded. My family's canceling the wedding. My dad says he won't pay for it if I marry someone who can't keep private matters private. Interesting perspective, I said dryly. My mom says I humiliated them. Claire won't even look at me. She thinks I'm selfish and immature. Claire's not wrong. I replied. My grandmother says I've dishonored the family name, Emily whispered. Your grandmother values honesty. You should have thought about that before kissing Ryan. You didn't have to tell everyone, she said, her voice breaking. I did, because I don't cover for cheaters. It wasn't cheating, it was just a kiss. You kissed another man while wearing my ring. That's cheating, Emily. She sobbed. I'll do anything to fix this. There's nothing to fix. You've already shown me who you are. That's not who I am. It was one mistake. No, it was more than one. You kissed Ryan, tried to hide it, expected me to lie, and even plan to have him at our wedding without telling me. I'm not marrying someone who treats an engagement like a trial run with a backup plan. I don't have a backup plan. Ryan means nothing. Then why kiss him? I pressed. Her voice cracked. I was drunk, and I was second-guessing if I was ready to marry. At least that's honest, I said. I reached into my pocket and pulled out the ring box. Now give me the ring back. Jake, no, she begged, tears streaming. But she slid the ring from her finger and placed it in my hand. You're making a terrible mistake. The only mistake I made I said quietly, was not seeing this sooner. 3 weeks later, the fallout was complete. Emily's family canceled the wedding. They lost some deposits but recovered most of the money because vendors sympathized with the situation. Emily moved back in with her parents temporarily while she searched for her own place, but the family atmosphere was strained. Everyone walked on eggshells around her. Ryan reached out after the scandal spread on social media, but Emily reportedly shut him down. His interest vanished once she was no longer unavailable. The once busy family group chat fell silent. I stayed in it for a while, until Susan gently suggested I leave, given I was no longer family. I thanked him for including me and exited. Michael called me last week to apologize yet again. "Jake, we think you handled this with dignity," he said. "Emily's been asking if I think reconciliation is possible." "And what did you tell her?" I asked. "That the door closed the moment she kissed Ryan and asked you covered up." "Good advice," I said. "For what it's worth," Michael added, "we think you dodged a bullet. Emily has always been impulsive, but this showed us a side of her we never wanted to see." Now, the $13,000 engagement ring sits untouched in its box in my drawer, a reminder of what I nearly tied myself to, a life of suspicion, wondering where she was and who she was with every time she went out. If there was a silver lining, it was how quickly her true nature came to light under pressure. Instead of owning her mistake, her first instinct was to twist the narrative and enlist me in the cover-up. When I refused, she blamed me for the consequences of her choices. Emily discovered the hard way that family group chats aren't safe havens for hiding betrayal. Her relatives saw that she wasn't ready for marriage. And I learned something valuable too. Sometimes the best way to cut through someone's attempt to rewrite the truth is simple: expose it. Emily thought silence would protect her. Instead, she got full transparency in front of the very people who mattered most. Some people treat engagement as a license to bury their missteps. They usually find out, painfully, that trust is a two-way street.